Ever scrolled through your phone, seen an ad for PiBank, and thought, who exactly is behind this? You're not alone. In a world saturated with financial institutions, knowing who holds the reins is crucial. It's about trust, transparency, and understanding where your money is going. So, let's dive into the question that's likely on your mind. Who exactly owns PiBank? To understand PiBank's ownership, we need to look at the broader landscape of financial technology, or fintech, in Nigeria. Over the past few years, Nigeria has witnessed a boom in fintech startups, driven by a large, young, and tech-savvy population underserved by traditional banking. These companies are leveraging technology to offer innovative financial solutions, from digital payments and lending to savings and investment platforms. PiBank is one of these players, positioning itself as a modern, accessible banking alternative. Now, getting straight to the point about ownership can sometimes be a bit like peeling back layers. PiBank, like many emerging fintech companies, isn't typically owned by a single individual in the traditional sense. Instead, ownership often lies within a complex structure involving investors, holding companies, and potentially even larger financial groups. While specific ownership details can fluctuate and might not always be publicly advertised in granular detail, we can look at the common pathways for fintech ownership in Nigeria. Often, these companies are backed by venture capital firms. These are investment companies that provide funding to early-stage, high-growth potential companies. Venture capitalists pool money from various sources and invest in startups they believe will yield significant returns. So, a significant portion of PiBank's ownership likely rests with one or more venture capital firms who saw promise in their business model and growth potential. Another possibility is ownership by a larger financial holding company. As fintechs mature and gain traction, they might attract the attention of established financial institutions looking to expand their digital offerings or acquire innovative technologies. In such cases, PiBank could be a subsidiary or a part of a larger financial group. This kind of ownership can provide stability and access to a broader customer base. Furthermore, the founders and key management personnel often retain a significant stake in the company, at least in the early stages. Their vision and drive are what built the company, and their continued involvement is usually crucial for its success. So, while they might not be the sole owners, the individuals who conceived and built PiBank likely hold a notable portion of the ownership. It's also worth considering the regulatory environment in Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, plays a crucial role in licensing and overseeing financial institutions, including fintech companies. While the CBN doesn't directly own these entities, their regulations and requirements can influence ownership structures and reporting. To get the most accurate and up-to-date information on PiBank's ownership, the best course of action is usually to look for official press releases, company announcements, or regulatory filings, if they are publicly available. Sometimes, information can be found on the company's official website, particularly in the About Us or Investor Relations sections, although fintechs might not always disclose detailed ownership breakdowns publicly, especially if they are privately held. In conclusion, while pinpointing a single owner for a modern fintech like PiBank can be challenging, it's likely a mix of venture capital firms who provided early funding, potentially a larger financial holding company that may have acquired a stake, and the founders and key management who continue to steer the ship. The exact proportions and names of these entities might not always be public knowledge, but understanding the general ownership landscape of fintech companies in Nigeria provides a valuable context. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.